Should you summon for this teen Shoko? Short answer, yeah. So this unit is literally, as of recording this video, she's been out for like 2 hours, something like that. A lot of people have been asking, should I summon for Shoko? Should I summon for Teen Nanami? I'd say, genuinely, of the green typing, she is, if not the best, or one of the top best supports in the green typing. However, she is very similar to yellow Shoko in every single, well, most ways, outside of like little minutiae like her auto skill and her ult being slightly different, but she's very similar to the yellow Shoko. And if you remember my video about yellow Shoko, I said you should probably pull her because she makes the yellow category 10 times bigger. The same applies here with Teen Shoko, but for the green category, right? She upgrades everyone's survivability through her healing, through her auto skill. Well, actually not her auto skill, but through her like ult is, you know, a group heal. Her skill 3 is a group heal, skill 2 is a buff. We'll go through the full kit momentarily, but bear in mind, if you want a TLDR, she will make the green category. If we just take a quick peek, I mean, as you can see on here, there isn't really many fantastic supports in green outside of Team Ghetto and like SR Momo. So if you want to use a green exclusive team, which the game very much pushes for in the new 20 Illusory Tower stages, she is a necessity for green stages, right? She really, really is. And as a result, you know, if you want your, you want to get through those green stages, this character is, as I say, a necessity. More so than yellow Shoko is for yellow, right? But because yellow does have yellow Yaga and a couple like and Degumi as overall better supports, but since she is like one of 2 really good supports on green, she buffs green a lot more than adult Shoko buffs yellow. But anyway, let's get into the nitty-gritty, just talk about her kit first. So her skill 1 is very similar to adult Shoko's, right? Throwing a scalpel, crazy. But this time she gives herself cursed energy, which isn't huge, right? I won't lie. It's a nice little thing, but like as you see here, it doesn't have any recommended memories, but I would say overall for this character, since you're just going to be spamming skill 2 and maybe skill 3 a few times, I'd suggest using a memory that provides cursed energy, like Imaginary Youth, I think it's called, the one with Junpei. I'd suggest that over anything else. Or the Mutual Trust, that gives you a bit of cursed energy and also buffs everyone's defense just for a little bit of extra survivability on top of it already huge survivability. But she doesn't really need more cursed energy, but you know, you're not using this for damage as well, obviously, but giving yourself 5 extra cursed energy isn't terrible. It's a cool little thing. Her skill 2 is like the creme de la creme. This is the important thing. Now, obviously, do bear in mind this is type exclusive, just like yellow Shoko. If we pull her up here, it's always like majorly type exclusive, which is fine because the buff she is giving is so big. And as I say on the other floors of the Illusory Tower, the meta very much focuses more so around mono type teams. So buffs like this is fine, right? This makes sense, right? Most buffers outside of like SR Yaga and stuff are going to be mono types, at least moving forward as well. If we get any new buffers or buffers, they're going to be mono type. That's just how the game's going to be working now, because that's what the devs are pushing for a meta. Her skill 3 is really interesting. Obviously, giving anyone 40% off the bat, really nice. They take RCT, so you know, not disaster curses. They can also decrease debuffs by 70%, which is crazy. Decrease the turn duration of debuffs, well, of poison and stuff. That's not as big because not a lot of bosses specifically do poison. Some of them do, like the insect curse spirit, which can be annoying on some illusory floor stages. But poison, it's not the most common thing, but it can be a little bit common. So this, yet again, this isn't terrible, right? This is pretty fine. But the ult as well is also very huge. So you get the stat buff from her skill 2, right? Pretty much, like exactly, on top of even more healing, on top of even more like debuff reduction and poison reduction, which is just more and more and more. That's just really, really strong. Obviously the CoOp effects are never like crazy. Oh, it's melee damage and set cursed energy. 20 cursed energy, not terrible. That's actually one of the stronger CoOp effects, but yeah, that's not bad. That's fine. That's like another little cherry on top. Actually, what was adult Shoko's? I've completely forgot. Oh, cursed energy is literally the same. Crazy. Makes sense. Anyway, the auto skill is just adds to her survivability. I didn't mention it with her skill 2, which I should have, but every time she uses her skill 2, she gets granted stealth. And what stealth means is that whenever like the boss or the enemy uses like a single enemy attack, they can't focus her, they can't attack her. That doesn't, you know, she can't be targeted, right? Like you've probably tried to do an illusory floor stage where you need like Inumaki to fill everyone's ult gauges with his skill 2 twice, but he gets 1 tapped on the first turn, so you have to reset immediately. She won't suffer from this because, you know, she can't be targeted. Granted, I'm pretty sure AoE still hit with stealth, like this isn't an invincibility. She doesn't apply the limitless and buff everyone for a turn, because that'll be mega busted, right? She still can be hit with AoEs and stuff, but guaranteed not to be like solo targeted, really strong. As I say, the ult, perfect. The skill will always take action, yeah. Also, that obviously makes sense. The order of, you know, if you didn't know, this is a little bit of just game knowledge. The skill orders will always be like buff, debuff, then the attack. since her ult is technically a buff and, well, slash heal, it will go like her ult, then like, even if Shoko is like the final character at the back, her buff will go first. It's the same with Rare Yuki. If you've used his ult, since his ult is a buff, his will go off first before anyone else's that he uses the ult alongside with. But anyway, her auto skill, if her HP goes under 60, she can just recover 20%, and she gives herself stealth, and she decreases her own damage taken, and she can use it twice in battle. That's crazy. So she guarantees like increased survivability from all of her other skills, right? From her skill 2, it stealths her and gives her a bunch of stat increases. Well, it gives the team stat increases, which is really nice. Her skill 3 could let her just, heal. I don't know if she can heal herself, I'd have to check. But just this auto skill on its own is incredible, right? That's a really strong auto skill. Granted, it's kind of up in the air whether or not you prefer this, like the adult Shoko auto skill to this auto skill. Like, the one that's similar to Yuta's where adult Shoko will heal the entire team, or teen Shoko's where she just guarantees her own safety. Overall, since, both her ult and her skill 3 also heal the entire team, it makes sense for her auto skill to just give her herself survivability, which is really nice. But yeah, should you summon for this unit? Probably. This buff can be stacked a bunch. 65 is like SR Yaga numbers, right? Granted, it's relegated to green, but as I said, that's going to be the meta for buffers going forward that are released next. I don't think we've actually gotten a buffer since we're pretty much caught up to JP at this point. It's been Chozo and Dagon, I think, left, and Ino. I think those are the only units left at this point, but they're not like buffers, so I don't know if we'll probably get a buffer next actually. But anyway, there's not really any major downsides to her besides, like, since she's a support, she is not doing any fucking damage, like, at all. The only damage you're getting is from her skill 1, and it's literally nothing. Like, this isn't like, SR Nanami who can pull out a black flash and like kill the boss before you think he will. No, she is literally just strictly support to buff and heal, which is perfectly fine because she is one of the best in the game to do it. Let's see how the wiki rates her out of curiosity, because the longer I've used this wiki to get like skills and stuff, the more and more I like disagree with it. Like, I do not agree with a lot of these picks. The wiki is kind of meh, to be honest. I don't agree with a lot of the placements, but yeah, I mean, she's pretty high. Would I put her above Momo? Probably not. Relative to Teen Ghetto is obviously doing a lot of damage as well as supporting, but anyway, she's really strong. Do I think you should summon for her overall? I'd say, even if you think your green team is very strong, it is significantly weakened by the fact that its best buffers are Gaku Ganji. Well, best supports are Gaku Ganji and Teen Ghetto, because if you add hair as well, that means you can just nuke the entire field with the new Hollow Purple Gojo, which I managed to pull. I hope you did too. And I hope you pull this girl too, because she can only make the green team better, because there isn't really 3 good buffers that I really, really like. Like, the only good one you could make is Green Momo, and Green Momo, like, he's like the optimal team comp, right, for green at this moment in time. Mono green team, I would say it's at the front Gaku Ganji, then Teen Ghetto, then Shoko, and then Hollow Purple Gojo, the new teen, like, Honored One Gojo, right? And this Momo is nothing. Like, she's not comparable to this Shoko because of how her buff works, and she doesn't heal. This Shoko is like the creme de la creme of green supports. I highly suggest that you pull for her. So yeah, that's it. I pretty much just yapped that entire time. But yeah, toodles my doodles. Hope you enjoyed. Hope to see you in the next one. Peace.